Hello everybody and welcome back to another Broadway Gymnastics online lesson. We have some really cool stuff planned today. We are going to do some more combinations, this time from our forward rolls. We're also going to do some pivot turns and we're going to revisit our split jumps and expand on them just a little bit. That being said, as always, make sure you're in a safe area. Carpet is preferred, backyard is even better. And we are going to start today with our same full body stretch. So grab a bottle of water if you need it. I'll get our timer out and let's get started. Alright guys, so again starting with jumping jacks, then moving on to our jump ropes, and then we'll get into our full body stretch. Timer starting and go. Switching to jump rope. Alright, down to pike stretch. We're going to switch between a point and a flex. Pointing out and flex. And then we're going to keep them pointed. Arms up and reach as far as you can. Try to bring your nose down towards your knees. Keep your legs straight. Elbows to the side. Good, opening up to straddle. And from straddle, we're going to reach to the right. Same thing, try to point your toes outwards, knees facing the ceiling. Good, and switch. And 5 more seconds, we're gonna hold. Alright, and then out to the middle. So I usually go one hand on top of the other. Slide out, try to get your belly button towards the ground. Good, and into butterfly. So our heels are coming in. We're going to grab our feet and try to push our knees down towards the ground. Very nice. And slide your feet out, nose to your toes. Good, make sure you're holding this one. You don't want to come back up. Alright, and right foot across, we're going to roll out our right ankle. And switch. You can roll forwards or backwards or try to get both in there. Alright, into our right Achilles. So just keep that right foot straight, try to get that foot flat. Left leg can be bent. And switch. Alright, on your feet we have arm circles forward. Remember, try to go straight arms, make your circles a little bit bigger. And arm circles backwards. Alright, and then we're going to pull one arm over our chest. And switch. Almost done, guys, just a couple more. Get into our wrist stretch, so we'll go hands together. And we're just rolling counterclockwise, then back. Good, then we're going to arms out to the side. And same thing, just back and forth between rolling away from your body and into your body. And finishing with our twist. Alrighty. Alright you guys, that's it for our stretch. We should be feeling warmed up now, and we're going to move into our combinations again, this time trying with forward rolls. Alright you guys, so it is time for forward roll combination. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our forward roll and then we're going to add a little combination skill out of it. Now we're going to do jumps today and we're going to incorporate some shapes. So it's going to be a forward roll into jumps and a forward roll into shapes. Starting with jumps, I want you guys to pick 2 different jumps. So today I've chosen the tuck jump and the wolf jump. So we're going to go over that right now. So coming out of our forward roll, we're usually coming from this position up to our feet, and we want to stand without using our hands. But now we're going to add in a little jump. So remember we talked about combinations in our jumping skills. We want to see constant movement. So it's going to be the same rules here. As you're coming up from your forward roll, instead of bringing your arms to your ears and standing, we're going to bring those arms up right into a jump. So I'm going to try mine with my wolf jump, and you guys try with the first jump that you picked. So jump number 1, we're going to go forward roll. Wolf. Good, so you'll see as I'm coming up from the roll, my hands are going right into that jump position. So I'm going to do one more with my wolf jump, and you're going to do one more with the first jump you picked. So we're going to go again and make sure our arms have that movement coming up. I'm going to go forward roll. Wolf. Very nice. Okay, now we're going to try the other jump. So sometimes your second jump might have a different arm position. It might be a little trickier. So we're just going to try and see if we can make sure we get the arm position correct with the other jump. Okay, so my second jump is a tuck jump. You're going to do your second jump now. So ready? Turn number 1. Forward roll. Tuck jump. Good, so that time I had to make sure I swing my arms up in front. So I'm going to try one more. One more of the tuck jump. Good. And remembering now that it's a forward roll combination, you want to focus on those jump landings we talked about. So the toe ball heel, the arms, the landings, and the sticks. So now we're just combining a bunch of different things that we've already learned and trying to make it look fluid coming out of your forward roll. Now you also have the option, if you'd like, to do the forward roll step out into your jump. So all we're going to do there is do our regular forward roll, but as we come up, we're going to try to put our back foot first and then land in a strong lunge. So notice, this is all terms that we're combining together. So we're going to do a forward roll into a lunge. Let's see if we can do that. Good. So you'll see the forward roll step out is just a forward roll into a lunge. And there you can practice adding in a cartwheel, you can practice adding in a round off, or a number of any other jumps. So that's a really good way to combine acrobatic skills and jumps out of your forward rolls. Now if you wanted to do exercises or focus on your shapes, I'm going to show you a forward roll into a hollow. So it's going to be like a really slow forward roll. So I'm going to go down, and I'm going to slow down each part of the process. So the head goes in front, and I'm hollow. Then from here you can practice all of your other shapes. So straddles, tucks, pikes, anything you remember. So what I want you guys to do now is pick 3 different jumps, and you're going to take 3 turns per jump. So we're going to do 3 turns of a forward roll tuck jump, 3 turns of a forward roll wolf jump, and 3 turns of a forward roll straddle jump, or whatever jumps you've picked. After that, I want you to take 5 tries at the forward roll step out into the lunge position and see if you can connect a forward roll into your favorite acrobatic skill. And then finishing off, give it a try, a forward roll into a hollow body, and see if you can do 10 tuck up, V-ups, or straddle ups. And that is it for our forward roll combinations, you guys, so it's time to move on to the next thing. Alright you guys, so we're going to get into some pivot turns now. So the most important thing to note when working on a pivot turn is that you want to make sure you have a really, really strong releve. So what we're going to do all together is we're going to start just warming up that releve again. So we're going to go 5 times up to our toes and down, and then once we get to 5, we're going to lift our arms really tall and try to hold for 5 before pressing and finishing. Alright, so hands on your hips, we're starting all together. And we're going to go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press into the floor. Very nice. So now at the end, instead of pressing to the floor, we are going to do that pivot turn. Okay? And that pivot turn, all it's going to be is whatever foot is in front. So my good foot's in front. I'm a righty. I have my right foot right here. We are going to turn out to the left side before pressing and finishing. Okay, so if my right foot's in front, the reason we're not going to turn our good side is because then your legs are going to get crossed and we can't pivot, we can't turn, we can't finish. All right, so after holding for 5, instead of pressing, we're gonna add in that pivot. So up tall on our toes, squeezing, shin high, we're just gonna open towards the bad side, press, and finish. Okay, so it's gonna be the same thing, but we're gonna add in that outside pivot turn. So hands on your hips to start, and we're gonna go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pivot, finish. Good. A little bit of tricks here. When you're doing your pivot turn, you want to make sure that your chin is in a neutral position. If you start looking to the side, you start turning too quickly, your center of gravity is going to go off and the pivot turn is going to be a little bit harder. Okay, so now we're going to try to do that pivot turn out of some other walks. So we have our releve walks, we have our passe walks, all this stuff we were working on beams. So we're going to keep with those 2 for now. So I'm going to start with my releve walks. I'm going to take 5 steps forward in releve and try to pivot, take 5 steps back before I pivot and finish. Now the reason that we do this pivot turn is because when we're on a beam, if you make it to the end of the beam and you have to turn around, it's going to be kind of hard to pick your feet up and do all that. So the pivot turn is a nice, simpler way to help us transition out of our skills. So I want you guys to try it with me, so make sure you have enough room. Now, if you do have a beam at home, or if you'd like to try now to do it on blankets or towels, it's a great time. I'm not going to, and you certainly don't have to, but it's a great time if you want to. So we're going to start with our releve walks. Our arms are going to be up by our ears, and we're going to be up on our tippy toes. We're going to take 5 steps forward, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to pivot, turn back 5 more steps, and do the same thing. Okay? So we're going to do it all together. Ready? Arms up, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pivot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pivot. Finish. Good job. Now, going on that pivot turn too, a nice way to really lock it in and make sure you're doing it the best you can is to hold your releve for longer. So this time we're going to try and hold it out. I want you guys to see if you can hold it as long as I can. We're going to do it all together. We're going to take our 5 steps forward, hold that releve, wait till you hear it, and then when I say pivot, we're going to turn and step back, okay? All right, so arms going up, and we're going to step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it, pivot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pivot, finish. Good job. So it can be a tricky one and it can also be a really, really fun one. It's very simple. You gotta make sure that you're up on your toes. We don't want our heels coming to the ground, and you wanna keep your body nice and aligned, nice and straight. So if I'm gonna go pivot turn, my body looks like this, it's going to be very easy for me to lose my balance. So focus on your releves and holding your releve as long as you can. Focus on a tight, squeezy body and just turning with the outside hips. Alrighty? So if you guys want to keep practicing now, you can include it in your releve walks, you can do it in your passe walks, you can even try it with your kick walks or anything else you might remember from the gym. There's a lot of fun ways to do it. What you can also work on is just a simple step lock pivot. So if you think you're ready to do a pivot turn into another pivot turn, we're going to try this. I'm going to put my good foot in front, lock my bad foot behind, and pivot, pivot. Now we're going to do it with the arms too as well, so the arms are going to go up. But it's called a step, lock, pivot, pivot. So every time you move, it's another step. So we're going step, lock, pivot, pivot. And that's all it's going to be. But I want you to challenge yourself and see if you can do that and hold that releve at the end. So we're gonna go step, lock, pivot, pivot, and see if we can hold it. Ready? Step, lock, pivot, pivot, hold, press, finish. Good. So there should be 3 things you can practice now. You can do your pivot turns out of releve walks, your pivot turns out of your passe walks, and your step, lock, pivot, pivot. So go through, give them a try, see if it feels comfortable, and then once you feel ready to move on, we are going to get into some split jumps. All right, now I know we've done split jumps before, but we're just gonna revisit them for a second and give you some options to expand on them. So remember for the split jump, that we wanted to go feet together, our good foot is just a little bit in front of our bad. We're gonna bend before pushing up into our split, and then finishing with our feet together. Now our arms are gonna go swing down, press back, finish. Okay, so let's put it all together for one split jump. So we're gonna go swing. Good. Now remember some things to work on is when you're exploding into that jump to push through the toes and to land the same way. So land toe ball heel, make it nice and quiet. Okay, now remember the arms want to be super tight and you want to make sure your chin is also up. Now, if you know how to do your split jump already and you're like, I need more, this feels too easy for me, I want to expand on it. Remember that we introduced our split half last time. So we're going to go over that a little bit into more detail. Our split half is going to be, instead of arms in front into our swing, you're going to go ahead and take the bad arm and pull it back. Okay? Now, instead of swinging down and up, we're swinging around and into our split jump. Okay, so it's going to look like this. Swing down and around. Now, it's a harder skill to do. You want to make sure that your chin is still raised and that your arms are tight, even though we're introducing this new position. So if you feel like the split jump is super easy, I want you to move on to split halves or split jump connections. Okay, so that means adding your split jumps into split jump wolf jump or split jump, even split jump straddle jump. Another thing we want to talk about really quick for today, when you do a split jump, there's something called traveling. And traveling means if I start my split jump here, but I'm landing here. Now that wouldn't be a correct split jump. There's something called a leap, which many of us know, and guess what? We're going to get into it very soon, but a split jump is not a leap. So you want to make sure wherever you're starting is also where you're finishing. So what I want you guys to do for split jumps is to just try 5 in a row and see if after 5 in a row you can land in the exact same place that you started. That's your challenge for today. And if that goes easy for you, you're going to move on to the split half, to the split jump connections, and ultimately trying to make your split jumps as big and the best you can. Alright guys, so today's lesson was pretty straightforward. We took a lot of skills that we already knew and added in some combinations and some tips and tricks to make it a little better. So what we're going to do now at the end is we're going to do a quick little HIIT workout. It's just going to be 5 exercises that I think are really going to translate and help the things that we discussed today. So as far as split jumps and jumps in our combinations, we're going to be doing our lunging kicks, so we're getting really low, practicing exploding through the toe and focusing on a straight leg. So we're going to do lunge kicks on our right leg and our left leg. That's going to be for a minute before we have a rest. Then we want to make sure we have tight arms in our jumps and tight arms as we're holding in our pivot turns. So we're going to do some inchworms, so just walking down and back to focus on the strong arms. Right after that we have push-ups with our arms out. Same thing, we want to be really strong in our upper body. Then we're going to take a little rest and just finish with some cardio to make sure that we can get through our classes a little easier. Okay, so it's going to be 5 workouts. It's going to be about 3 minutes. That should be fine. If you need it now, grab a bottle of water, keep it handy. I'm going to start our timer and we're going to get started. So it's going to start with lunge kicks on our right leg. Ready? Go. So hold the lunge, push kick. Lunge, kick. Good. So a low lunge, big kick. Switching legs. Alright, a little rest. So interims and push-ups are next. Here we go. Interims, making sure you're standing up all the way and walking all the way out. Alright, push-ups now. We're going to make sure our arms are out a little bit wider than our shoulders on these. Alright, and then finishing with, let's see, we have our skater hops and an arm swing. So this is our last one, guys. 30 seconds, then you're done. Alright. Good job, guys. Alright, thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Remember, as always, now is a great time to stretch your splits, to eat a nice healthy meal, and drink lots of water. We have a lot more planned for you guys, and a lot more is going to come, and as always, we cannot wait to see you guys in the gym very soon, but for now, we'll see you guys next time.